Great experiences build great leaders. Great leaders build great teams. This is Building Great Sales Teams.
All right, guys, welcome back to Building Great Sales Teams. You guys know I like to mix it up every now and then with some diversified guests, and it's not who you would expect, but I think we're going to learn a ton from him. In my research, I found a lot of things that we can derive from everything that he's done so far. His name is Kelley Thronton, and he's the CEO and founder of Tiege Hanley. He put himself through college by painting houses and now owns Tiege Hanley, which is a men's skincare line that services over, get ready for this, 350,000 customers. I don't think we have anybody listening or probably have had a guest on the podcast yet that service 350,000 customers. So Kelley, welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks for having me. And love sales. I spent most of my time in my career in sales, so there's a lot to talk about there. But obviously very passionate about building companies and helping men look and feel amazing with their skincare routines. It's important for us guys to be taking care of ourselves. So we're just talking about that over here on Tiege Hanley.
Awesome, man. Well, we'll definitely get into the skincare part, but I do want to ask, most of our listeners are small businesses.
Yes.
And I feel like one of the biggest things they can learn from you is how to create a great customer experience. Because obviously with 350,000 customers, you're doing something right?
Yeah.
So what are some key ways you do that?
Yeah, and we gave you some bad information. We're up close to about 500,000 customers now.
Okay.
And that's on us and we've just, in September, we shipped over our 2 millionth order. So we have a lot of customers, but being a very customer centric business is critical, no matter if you're painting houses or you're in skincare or you're a consultant. Being very customer focused is critical. We're primarily a subscription company. We talk about modern day subscription here at Tiege Hanley, which is means that we'll basically do anything. If you don't like something, we'll cancel your orders. We'll give you your money back, let you ship the product, take the product for free. We really don't care. We're pain in the ass free company. We deal with about 1,000 customer tickets a day. So we have a customer experience team. There's 4 people on that team, and they're answering phone calls and doing emails every day. And we're doing about 1,000 a day. We actually have something you're probably familiar with and your audience is familiar with, which is called a Net Promoter Score. So our Net Promoter Score, according to Nielsen and a few other companies that track Net Promoter Scores, above a 70 is pretty much best in class. So if you have a customer Net Promoter Score above 70, you're in best in class. Like Verizon or a subscription is probably going to be in the 40s or 50s. Our Net Promoter Score is 90.08. Just to give you an idea, it's only changed about 4 points over the past 5 years. So if you get one less than 5-point star, it can reduce your Net Promoter Score, and we measure it out to the thousands place. So the way we do it is we're super hyper attentive to our guys and to our customers, and we really pretty much don't take, we don't argue with our customers. We don't call them liars. We don't take, we take them for face value. But we do track everything that these guys do. And we know when people are trying to beat, hack the system. And for the most part, we do whatever we can to support our customers and their needs. There are times where we tell customers that they don't belong to our tribe. I'd say that happens probably once a week. So we basically tell a customer to fuck off. And we give them codes, coupon codes and stuff to our competitors.
Yeah.
We're like, dude, this isn't your company. You don't belong in this. Go buy from our competitor, and here's a coupon code. And if you think your experience is better with them, then stay with them. If not, we'll be here. So we spend a lot of time on this subject.
No, I love that. I love the last part especially. Like, and you don't really see that in a lot of retail. You know, it's like very passive. You know, you have to take the good with the bad. But, you know, you guys saying, hey, this is where our alignment is, and you don't align with us as a customer, because what's typically happening when y'all resort to that, sending the coupon codes of competitors?
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 customer experience issues that we deal with every day. The simplest ones are, my product I haven't received my product. I bought it like yesterday, the day before. I haven't received my product. Sometimes it drags on. It's like, goes on 3 days, 4 days. And then we know that the box was delivered, but it was delivered to their next door neighbor. So we have to send them a picture and say, this is where it was. And they say, well, that's not my house. And then we'll have to reship it. So that's like, and then there could be billing issues. Like, you guys charged me for something that I didn't expect to be, so that all that goes. Then there's lots of customer issues with customers, like having some issue, concern, or question about our product. Like, I can't get the product out of the package. Like the pump isn't working. So we have like an eye cream and it doesn't work. So those issues happen all the time, right? Like for whatever reason, something happens, or an elephant stepped on it and the product's all busted. So can you resend me the product? But then there's these guys that call up. And by the way, we're a men's skincare company. So I'm going to say guys a lot, but our customers are guys. So then there's people that call up and say, like, I was supposed to get 25% off and I didn't get it. And I was supposed to get this free item and I didn't get it. And we're like, yeah, but dude, we've got all your orders right here. We're looking at the screen with all your orders, and you've taken 25% off on every single order. And that coupon code was for our first time customer. And we allow you to take it like the second time. We allow you to take it the third time, but you're basically stealing from us. It specifically says right there on the page you're checking out, first time customers. And so sometimes we'll cancel their second order. We'll send them a note and say, you can't use this code. Would you like to pay, $40 instead of 36? And if not, not. And so they'll just call up and we have guys that just do repeat all the time. And they're just trying to, take us for something. Like, I didn't get this. You forgot to ship me, a bar soap. All right, we'll reship the bar soap. Dude, you've told us 4 times that you needed to replace the bar soap. Like, we have pictures of it in the box, because we photograph everything, barcode and photograph everything coming out of our manufacturing plant. We pack our own boxes. We know it was in the box. So, go fuck off. That's basically what we do.
It hits every time when you say it like that. And I think it woke up the listeners a little bit, like, oh, this guy ain't messing around.
No, I mean, we treat everybody really fairly, but when, when people get crazy with us, we tell them, we literally, like, the guys tell them all the time, sorry, man, we're not right for you. Go to this company.
I appreciate business owners and guests that have been through some shit, because typically when you've been through some shit, your tolerance level of bullshit is a lot lower, what you'll put up with, and then you start to filter your environment, you start to filter your business, And I appreciate that, because I only want to work with people and learn from people like that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of theory out there. There's a lot of what sounds nice, and a lot of people like to put that out because they don't have the experiences that you've had, going from having a house painting business to owning a men's skincare line. There's a lot of experience that happens in between those two things.
Yeah.
Can you kind of walk us through that?
Yeah. And by the way, I want to say one thing, because I don't want to leave like a wrong impression here, but we actually derive more good from our customer experiences than kind of the negative things I was just talking about.
Yeah, of course. We actually,
we get every single day, every day, we get either written comment or verbal comments from our customers talking about what they like about our product and how our product helps them feel better about themselves, or their skin looks better, or their wife gave them a compliment today and they haven't had a compliment in 20 years from their wife. So, and we play every week on Fridays. We have an executive meeting, and every single executive meeting, we either listen to an audio quote or read a quote from a customer that just reinforces the belief that we have in our company and our products and our customers. And they're fantastic quotes. Like they're crazy, some of the things that people say about our company. So that's the positive thing, and that's the reason why you lean in hard to trying to help do what's right for your customers.
No, I love that. And it does, it fuels you every time. For
Makes you feel
me,
great.
yeah, I'm a consultant and I feed off of that stuff. Anytime, I had a call yesterday with one of my clients, and 6 weeks ago I told him to fire the salesperson. And 6 weeks later, he's finally firing him. But he went through 6 weeks of basically learning that he had to fire him in the first place based on some controllable actions and everything. And he was just like, "Look, I had to learn the hard way. That's kind of how it happens sometimes."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, but it's those little moments where it's like, okay, we're doing the right things, we're preaching the right things, we're pushing the right things to our clients, and making sure that they get taken care of. And so,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would love
Yeah.
to know, because you said you went through some sales positions and stuff like that, and you ended up getting inspired to start a men's skincare company.
Yeah.
So can you walk us through that
I'm on
story
my
a little bit?
third business.
Uh-huh.
So I went to school in Connecticut. I
Hmm.
painted houses. It was a good way to make money. In New England, all the houses are clapboard. Anybody that's seen pictures or movies or been to New England knows that a lot of clapboard houses there. It's original kind of shaker style house
Hmm.
building. I built paint houses, and it was great because it allowed me to make money and then employ other people, and then pay for my college career. And then after I graduated college, I went right into sales. Um, and I was in 18 years, I was in sales. So I really, really, really like salespeople. I really appreciate all that I learned being in sales. And I really, really appreciate the foundation of knowledge that I got out of sales. Really good salespeople are a very unique blend of being, they should be, I think, very specialist and very technical. They should have a high degree of technical capability of understanding the products that they sell, but they should be
Hmm.
really good advocates for both their customer and for their customer within the organization and externally to their customer. And it's that relationship that's just really amazing. So I have an incredible amount of respect for salespeople. I was one for 18 years, but it allowed me to develop a foundation of knowledge to start my second business, which was an advertising agency. So I started an advertising agency and took a lot of my customers with me from my corporate days, and then built that to a global company with offices in London and Taiwan and here in the US, and took that to a multi-million-dollar company. But my customers were really interested in helping sell. So that agency was about selling help. It was basically a shopper marketing company. So if you anything about shopper marketing, it's a
Okay.
very
Yeah.
simple concept. It's just about how you communicate with how do brands communicate with shoppers at the point of purchase. So,
Hmm.
if you're Unilever and you're selling Axe or Dove shampoo, how do you communicate with that customer in a Target? So I spent 10 years really trying to help companies understand this. And I was very drawn to the fact that guys just hate to shop, which is pretty obvious. Like, we're not watching the Super Bowl saying, man, that pass was unbelievable. Let's, like, after the game, what are you doing, Doug? You want to run down to Nordstrom's and see what's like new in fashion and skincare? I mean,
Yeah.
that shit's just not, those conversations aren't happening. So
Nope.
I felt like there was a great opportunity to help men think about skincare and sell it online. That's where I'm at today.
Mhm. No, I love it. And it's something that, okay, in my 20s, I used the body wash to wash my face. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right.
In
Yep.
my 30s now, I use the same face wash as my wife does, right? And it's
Yep. Yep.
it's the grocery store face wash. So
Yep.
what would you say to a lot of men like me? And this is a selfish question. This has nothing to do with building great sales teams.
Yeah,
Although
sure.
a better looking sales leader is always going to do better.
That's right. Absolutely.
And a better looking salesperson is always going to convert more. At the end of the day, we can't argue with that. So,
No.
tell me why men, I'm 37 now.
Yep.
Men should be looking at going from that maybe grocery store face wash to a product like yours.
Yeah. I mean, let me just break it down in very simple terms. I'm a tequila drinker. There's probably a lot of whiskey drinkers out there, or bourbon drinkers, or whatever. The difference between, Jose Cuervo or Tito's and some well-branded spirit is, is like night and day, right? I mean,
Mhm.
we know the difference between drinking, a Mr. Boston vodka and a Tito's. And we
Yeah.
know how we feel, and we know the difference in taste, and et cetera, et cetera. The experience is completely different. So it's the same thing for high quality face washes and, skincare products. We also sell body washes and bar soaps and deodorant and
Mhm.
ball powder, things of that nature. We make really, really, really good products. So our products are not, they're not the store bought products, which are, anywhere between 83 and 89% water and,
Mhm.
17%, to 12% active ingredients. Our products actually make a significant difference to how your skin looks and feels. So, this isn't right. This is a fact. I mean, you buy a better brand. You might buy it at first because you want to. That's what everybody's drinking Tito's, so you're going to drink it. Then
Yeah.
you start out, and then when you try something different, you're like, well, this sucks. So people know the difference between a quality product and not a quality product. They see it in the results. So we make really, really, really high quality products. Our products are super expensive for us to make. Why are they expensive? Because the ingredients that we put in them, like, we put in ingredients that are really expensive for us to buy, and we don't
Mhm.
cut corners. We don't reduce the cost of our products on our manufacturing side so that we can squeeze out an extra penny or two. Because the problem is that we know the guys won't come back. So
Yeah.
we make great products. Guys buy our products. They're like, fuck, this really is good stuff. This face wash really cleans my face well. It doesn't leave my face feeling too overly dried. I like the feel of it. I really feel clean. I feel refreshed. And so and then I put a moisturizer on that's not shiny. It leaves my face kind of matte. It dries really quickly, and the whole experience takes me about a minute 30 to 2 minutes, right?
Mhm.
So it's guy proof. And then, like I said, people get compliments.
That's
So
good.
that's it. I mean, it's just that simple. Why should we do it? We should do it because we have a responsibility to our wives and to our children, and to our significant others, to take care of ourselves. It doesn't mean we should be sitting around watching football all the time. We need to be working out. We need to be exercising, whether it's riding a bike or running or going to the gym or lifting weights. We need to
Mhm.
be in a good mental state. If you're a sales guy, you got to be on your game, right? So
Yep.
you got to get the right amount of sleep. You got to exercise. You got to eat right. You can't eat a hamburger every day, cheeseburger every day for lunch. That's not going to work. And so for us, brush your teeth, wash your face, put a good quality moisturizer on at night. You do it again. You feel fucking good about yourself. You're ready to go out and kick some ass.
No, I love it. And I want to point out that while you were talking about that,
Yeah.
I was able to go on your site,
Boom.
take the quiz,
Yep.
like took me 20 seconds, and it recommended me skincare system. And
Right.
here's the part I don't get.
Yeah.
Like, I know how expensive skincare is, and I was able to order this for $26. I mean,
Yep.
obviously, I'm using the first time code. I won't use it again, I promise.
That's right. Shouldn't have told everybody that. Everybody's going to be out there using the code
I
again.
know, right?
Damn it. All these people listening to Doug are using our code.
Yeah,
Everybody's
yeah,
knowing.
they're all Building Great Sales Teams podcast. They're getting the code over and over again. But going back to the customer experience question I had
Yeah.
earlier, is you made it easy. And
Yeah.
one of the things that you said is you made it man proof.
Yeah.
And so now I'm in the system. I'm going to get that monthly. 'Cause I don't, when I go to the grocery store, I don't think about skincare. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking about steaks and
Yeah.
like what I'm going to eat for dinner and, stuff for my kids. The last thing I'm thinking about is skincare. So the fact that it's going to come in the mail makes it so much easier. But,
Yeah. I mean, it's so easy.
mhm. And then if you have that retail product, having a quiz like that, that makes me feel like, and I guarantee, and I know how this works. Like that's probably recommended maybe like 70 or 80% of the time, the system that I got, or no?
No, I mean, so
It's
we have like
specific?
three basic systems. So
Okay.
about 50% of our guys are in the one that you picked because they
I
probably
got you.
answered questions saying that,
Okay.
I'm not like very sophisticated.
Hmm.
I don't need a whole lot. So I'm just, I'm
Yeah.
just going to start with the basic. This is a great box. You wash your face in the morning, wash your face at night, put a
Yeah.
moisturizer on during the day, regardless if you live in Texas or you live in Toronto, put a moisturizer
Hmm.
on that has an SPF.
Hmm.
And at night, you just, as long as you didn't drink too much Tito's, you wash your face again and you put on your nighttime moisturizer and go to bed.
I
That
love it.
there's a fourth product in there, which is an exfoliant. You keep it
Hmm.
in your shower on Sundays and Wednesdays. They're scrub days, and you exfoliate.
Okay.
It's your shit. It's not your wife's. So
Right.
and like you said, we ship it to you like every 30, 45 days, but you can do whatever you want. Like if you say, I just like the face wash and the scrub and the nighttime moisturizer, and then just do that. If you want to add a
Yeah.
bar soap, you do that. You add a deodorant, you take out a deodorant, you do whatever you want. So our guys are just, 45% of our guys are just customizing. They're just putting stuff in their box and
Okay.
that they want, maybe maybe they're using Bulldog and they like Bulldog's, I don't know what, face scrub.
Yeah.
So they continue
Yeah.
buying that. So that's the way it works. We're just guy proof, man, making it easy.
I love it. So one of the things you were talking about earlier was that morning routine, you know,
Yeah.
and I think there's like, it's like you said, it's an evolution, right?
Right.
Somebody that I found growth and development probably way too late in life, about 3 years ago, but I found it nonetheless. And I'm lucky I've got some genetics that help me out, you know what I mean? Not in the hair category, but in the
Yep.
skin category. And, I'm not getting acne at 30 years old like some
Yep.
guys do. And so, but I've underappreciated my genetics, so I haven't done anything preventative and now I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the
Yeah.
lines. I'm
Right.
seeing like, and then obviously I'm moving slower in the gym,
Yeah.
and these are just little. I've got to start eating better. These are just little things that, as a leader in business, in sales, doesn't really matter. As a leader of your family, if you want to be around longer for them and you want to inspire them, I mean, everybody wants to be the hot dad. I mean, let's not get it twisted here.
Dude, I mean,
Everybody wants
you
to be
just
the
need to
hot
feel
mom.
good. You just need to feel good about yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
You
There's a
want to get up in the
confidence that comes
morning. Yeah, you just want to feel good about yourself. I was on an
with that.
airplane 2 months ago. I was come back from visiting a customer actually in Atlanta, and there's this dude that came on, and he's maybe yours. He's maybe like early 40s. I'm 57,
Okay.
and he had one of those really really badass baseball caps. It's
Mhm.
super expensive. They're like $90 baseball caps. And I keep on
Oh
looking
wow.
at them I'm like, I really want one of those, but I can't part with $90. So I said to the guy, I'm like, he came in, he actually sat right next to me. This guy was jacked too, right? I mean, he was not a small
Yeah.
guy. And he said, I said, man, I really like that hat. Like, what do you think? He's like, yeah, I got 3 of them. I don't think he was flexing. I think he was just being honest. He was like, I got a couple of them and it's like the best thing I've ever had. And blah, blah, blah. And I said, it's great. And he took off
Mhm.
his hat and I go, man, cause I got nothing up top. And I said, what are you putting on your head? Cause you got to make sure you cover that up so you don't
Yeah.
get, any cancer there. And
Yeah.
he looks at me and he goes, Man, I've been the last few years, I've been lubing my head up every day with like SPF moisturizer because I wish I had thought about this a long time ago. My skin is all cracked up on top and
Yeah.
scaly looking, and I look like shit. I wish I had. He goes, I'm taking care of myself now, but I should have done something 14 years ago.
Yeah.
That was his exact comment. So he didn't. I never even told him that I was in the skincare business. We chatted a bit, but I never even said anything to him. And that's it right there. I mean, the guy's aware of it now because he's got self-awareness in his late 30s, early 40s. I wish I had started it earlier, is what he said.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. It's just one of those things you don't start thinking about it until you get done with your rat race in your 20s or whatever the case is. I mean, most guys go through the same things. We start thinking about maybe mortality more in our 40s, but in our 30s, it's like trying to stay young. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what it is. Actually, the reason why guys start thinking about taking care of themselves is like these things that happen in their life. Like, I got to get the job, I got to get the girl, I got to move to California, I got to move out of California. Like I'm standing up in my best man's wedding. I just had a baby. Like all these crazy things.
Life
Guys
events.
start thinking, yeah, life events. Guys start thinking about. They got to make some changes.
That makes sense. I noticed one of your company causes is actually fighting skin cancer.
Yep.
What inspired that?
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense marketing wise. Okay, obviously, but
yeah,
I feel like there's more to the story.
Yeah, it's not really. I mean, guys won't buy our product just because we're affiliated with
Right.
Skin Cancer Foundation. We do it because my business partner Rob, I went to high school with him in Connecticut, and his father died when we were in high school of melanoma. Which is the guy was in his 50s, and it was like, what they say is like, if you want to have a lot of people come to your funeral, die young. And I mean, there was just it was just like the whole town showed up for this guy's funeral. It was very impactful. And that's Rob actually there on the right. And he, and so early on when sales started taking off, he's like, dude, we got to give, we really need to have our products be SPF, and we need to give, to Skin Cancer Foundation. And I just heard him say it. I didn't like particularly comment on it. And I started sending $100 a month to the Skin Cancer Foundation in New York. And so we've just contributed to it, since the beginning of time. I didn't tell them for 5 or 6 months. I'm like, the company gives $100 a month and we're giving like about $800 a month right now to Skin Cancer in New York. And, we're just trying to help guys understand that skin cancer is super preventable. So just put like our SPF is SPF 20. It's light. It's not meant to be hanging out at the beach or, going hunting or fishing. It's not that type. Right. But if you're doing your daily stuff and you've got it on your skin, your face, you absolutely will be doing a lot to prevent skin cancer.
Yeah. No, and you don't think about it. Like right now, I'm coaching my son's baseball team. And I think about yesterday, I was in direct sunlight the whole time. Exactly. My face was getting its ass kicked by the sun. And it's not something that you say, hey, I'm going to go coach practice and I'm going to put on some sunscreen, but if you're just doing it on a daily basis as part of your routine, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. I mean, for someone like you that lives in a sunny place, yeah, I know it's crazy, but like wash your face, at 4 PM, 3 PM, and then put on a little, a pea size amount of our moisturizer. I mean, literally a pea size amount. And that'll be enough to get you through an hour or two with your baseball hat on of being out in the sun, and make sure, like, we're gorilla style too. So make sure you're putting it on your face and you're putting it like, a little bit on your ears, and you're good.
Yeah. So, I've got enough missing up top that I got to put some up there too.
Yeah. I mean, just run it right here, like that. That's it. That's
I just aged 10 years when I take off my hat.
Yeah. What I look like? I already told you I was 57, so I guess fucked.
No, you look great for 57, but I would expect nothing less than the owner of a skincare company. So
yeah, yeah, it's okay. I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are you guys, what's new for you guys right now? What are you excited about? What's next?
Yeah, I mean, we work off of sprints. We work off at 90-day sprints at the company. Annual planning, 90-day sprints. But we just got off of a 3-year planning, and we worked the last 6 months of last year on the next 3 years. So we're just kicking off 3-year growth plan, and
Love it.
yeah, and it's really awesome. Like the team is like fired up working on this shit. I mean, they're just like going crazy with our 3-year plan. I mean, when you said it in your intro, great teams create great companies.
Mhm.
When you give, you know, a specific goals, and we have, as a mission as a company, is we're about helping men look and feel amazing. But you give teams specific goals, and you say, this is what we're going to do the next 3 years. Go kick some ass. Here are the monthly, quarterly, annual
Yeah.
objectives and measurement. And it's amazing what an organization can do. I mean, they just get after it and start crushing it every day. So I'm very excited about all that stuff.
I love it. Is that a system that you guys built organically, or are you operating off of EOS?
We do use EOS. We've been on EOS
Okay.
for a long time, like at least 7 years. The what I'm talking about is, is built, the 3-year plan's built outside of an EOS process, but
Mhm.
it's inculcated into our EOS,
Yeah, that makes a ton of
into our
sense.
quarterly, annual, and annually quarter goals and quarterly goals. EOS has been awesome for us. It's been great. Matter of fact, I give Gino Wickman's book Traction to
Mhm.
all new employees at the organization.
If I can suggest, especially when they first come in, because Traction is heavy. It's a
Yep.
heavy book.
Yep.
What the heck is EOS? Is a new book that he came. I want to say like 2 years ago or something like that. And
Hmm.
so we start so my clients go through an evolution, right? I built a sales program for them, and then sometimes if it suits them, I turn into a fractional integrator for them.
Hmm.
And so I come into the company, I build out their meeting structure and their quarterly targets, and we do the quarterly planning and everything. And one of the first books that we recommend their salespeople read coming in that are sales centric is What the Heck is US, because it's not like everything. It's just the overview, understanding the terminology. I love the
Yeah.
title of the book. It makes so much sense, because when you first hear about it, you're like, what the heck? You
I,
know?
I'll get what the heck is EOS for
Yeah.
our more junior
And then
hires.
and then when they get promoted to market manager, we have them read Rocket Fuel. So
Yeah.
Rocket Fuel's more story
Yep.
based, and
Yep.
then when they get to regional director, then Traction comes into play because now they're running their own
Yep.
L10s for their region, and so we kind of like ease them into it in that sense. You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
Um, but yeah, that's what I found. I found a lot of businesses in general are lacking that organizational structure that EOS provides. Even my sales org, we were 8 years in before we found EOS, and then we ran on it over the next 5 years. And then once I exited that business, I brought it over into my consulting as well. And if they don't have that in place, I typically recommend there's a software called 90.io or yeah, 90.io. That kind of just like displays their EOS. It takes them through a questionnaire and kind of displays their EOS for them to run your meetings on. It's kind of like an agenda builder slash quarterly. It houses EOS basically. Most people run it off of spreadsheets and stuff, and so we
Yeah. I
run
mean,
through that
if you
model.
don't have any operating system in your business,
Yeah,
it's not a good way to run a business.
because it's all up here, right? I mean, it's all basically housed in this human brain that has so many flaws. We can't count them. So it's definitely tough, and everybody's not on the same page. I think that's a big part of it. So when you
No.
guys implemented it, did you notice like y'all moving a little bit faster, or what were some of the key things that you were like, or was it just your sanity was intact after implementing it?
It's an interesting question. It's a
Mm-hmm.
very interesting question. I never really went back and thought very deeply about the impact of it.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly organized everything and created processes and drove us to implement and write down processes. So we have, processes for everything. Um, we have a controller that's been with us for a couple of years, financial controller. It's been with us for a few years, a CFO that's been with us for a few years. And the previous controller, and then there's a finance team, had like a whole handbook for everything that we did. So part of EOS was like make sure that every department has a process documented. And and the previous controller left on January 1st, kind of like unexpectedly. And the CFO had to basically close the books for 2 or 3 months until we hired a new controller. And
Wow.
the CFO hadn't been in the books for years.
Mm-hmm.
And without every single day he had this 3-ring binder on his desk and was constantly flipping through everything, like the account numbers and transfer this to that and reconcile this.
Mm-hmm.
And all the general ledger set up like this. And, cash is set up like this. And this is when we have these meetings. And so not having, and we have those type of processes written in pretty much every department. So those type of things are for sure, we still do rocks. We still do quarterly meetings. So I think it definitely improved our business. I think having very documented core values was the other thing that really was a significant improvement in our business.
Mm-hmm. No, I know it's cliche right now. I don't know if you're in any coaching or consulting or mastermind space, but it's very over marketed in those spaces. And
core
I think
values.
And I agree with the marketing of it. It is one of the most important things for small business owners. They need to establish them early on so they can build a business behind those. But I don't think enough people that are on stage or coaches or are influencers talk about the downside of implementing core values, which it's not a downside. It's just the pain that you're going to go through if you truly execute on them, because you're going to lose some people or you're going to lose some clients or products, whatever the case is in that process,
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's it's critical because we live our core values. I mean, I quiz people. I talk every single day about our core values. I'll be like, that way to act like an owner there, Doug. I mean, that was an amazing thing you did when you did this and that. You really showed, your peers how you were really acting like an owner. And I appreciate you saving that $15,000. You know what we can do with that $15,000 that you saved? We can apply it towards bonuses this year, and we can get another person in the marketing department to take us further. Or you made a great decision, Doug, when you did that, because you were really living our connected to data core value. And you made a decision. It was a hard decision, but you did it because the data points to the fact that that is what we should be doing. Even though it's counterintuitive to what you and I both think, the data proves otherwise. So if we really trust our data, we made the right decision. So on and on and on. We talk about our core values every day here. It's ingrained, but it also helps us figure out who we should and shouldn't be hiring, right? Because if we can't get people through the hiring process and ferret out whether or not they're going to be on track with the way we think at our organization, we just don't need them here. Kind of like the same way where we don't need customers that are going to be abusive.
Yeah. No, that makes a ton of sense. And the tough part is so many people put them on the wall, but never implement them like you are, And so that's what, just again, having the context of the space that I'm in a lot, and I'm on stages and stuff and around the coaches and consultants, and again, I just exactly what you said, where it's like it's got to be a true filter, to where you're not bringing people in that don't align. But it's tough. You can't really
There, there,
hire on it, but you got to fire on it for sure.
there's a great book. I think it's Think Like a Rocket Scientist from Pavian. I think it's that book, but it talks about, I can't remember all the books I read, but it talks about the guy that's founded Shake Shack. He's a famous restaurateur, and it talks about the whole principle of the way that Navy SEALs train and learn and execute. And there's many other things. It talks about the Spurs. It talks about coaching, NBA coaching, and yeah, I'm not sure if that's a great book for all. That's an awesome book. I'm not sure if that's the book I'm thinking about or not, but it talks about these companies like this restaurateur from Shake Shack, and he has all these major multi-million-dollar restaurants like Gramercy Park, and he had Windows of the World and all these, and they constantly talk using like this language that they're repeating over and over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, it's just constant. Like the Navy SEALs, they're like constantly talking about, they're saying the same thing over and over and over again. And it just like gets inculcated into their culture. And so it's not just having them, but it's constantly talking about them, constantly. So everybody on our executive team is constantly talking about it. Like they should be talking about it daily.
100%. Okay, last question for you, and we'll wrap this up. What does legacy mean to you, and what legacy do you want to leave behind?
Okay, well, glad you asked that one. I think like I'm thinking about my life in like the first 20 of my career, the second 20 of my career, actually like the first 30 in my life, the next 30 in my life, and like the next 30, but kind of like 20 to 40, 40 to 60, and 60 to 80. So for 60 to 80, I want to do something completely different than what I'm doing. I've been working on, I totally pivoted my thought. I have all these business ideas. I have some patents. I have another business. And I thought I would go on to something else. I want to focus on something that's going to do maximum good for the net from 60 to 80. Hopefully I'll have the opportunity to do that. My legacy, to answer your question, is I want to be known, or our brand Tiege Hanley be known as, those are the guys that first talked about why it's important for a guy to take care of himself, skin with the skin. We're that big umbrella that I was talking about earlier is the total umbrella, but specifically the guy was having healthy skin and was taking care of himself, how he looked and feel, and creating healthy routines. So my legacy is, we want to be known as, when the revolution came up around men thinking about taking care of themselves and taking care of their skin, we want to be known, Tiege Hanley, as being in the forefront of developing healthy skincare routines for guys. That's my legacy through age 60. Beyond that, hopefully it'll be creating maximum good for people.
I love it, brother. I can't thank you enough for coming on the podcast and dropping all this knowledge for us, as well as very practical knowledge of taking care of our skin, for sure. I think that's a big part of, that daily routine that needs to be talked about more for young men, for sure. So they grow into that, but definitely at my age, where it's like, oh, hey, what is that right there? Let's start in there, for sure.
Start taking care of yourself. for do all those things, and hopefully start using a high quality moisturizer and face wash. Try Tiege Hanley. Try Tiege.com/building great sales teams for a great discount, better than the one you got. But the one you got was pretty good, but your audience is going to get a better one if they go to Tiege.com/building great sales teams. And, send us a note and tell us what you think. And believe me, like I said, we take feedback very seriously. So
obviously, I love it, brother. If any of our listeners have learned something from this show, an easy way to pay it forward would be to try out Tiege Hanley for sure, and check that out in the show notes. We'll definitely include that in there or in the comments on YouTube, so you guys can take advantage of that discount code that Kelley just dropped for us. So appreciate you again for coming on the show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Doug. Thanks for everything you're doing for your listeners.
All right, let's get building.